Morning, dear colleagues. Today we have the first seminar, and the first very lucky group is Librarian Services. Now, I think that you are very lucky because the first group is has always a very high scores because it's very difficult to compare with someone else, and this is very good luck. So I know that you know the rules of the game, but I will still remember. You'll have only 30 minutes for your presentation. After that, two opponents team will prepare each team will prepare three questions, and this will be like the soccer game when only one team that defends or that prepare the question will win. And in the end of our seminar, I will show you your rates, your scores, and it is very I think it is very important to get the right feedback at the right time, and this system will provide this opportunity. So, team number one, Liberal Sources, please share your screen, and don't forget that you will have only 30 minutes for your presentation, and we are looking for it right now. So, let's get started.
Good morning, everyone. We will talk about Headhunter, and we can start.
Yeah.
So, as we all know, platform is a set of stable components that support variety and evolvability in system by constructing the linkages among the other components. We decided to choose as a platform of labor and services Headhunter, which is the largest recruiting internet service in Russia and the second in terms of traffic value in the world. It's a virtual space platform for interactions between workers and employers. So the platform was founded in 2000s by Mikhail Frolkin, who is now the former president of the company. At first, the website was called National Job Club, which later became Headhunter, and even later, hh.ru. So at first, the idea to create his own business was born to Mikhail Frolkin in 1999. Prior to that, he worked in a recruiting firm too, which was called Encore. So Mikhail was the only IT specialist in this company, and he even wrote the workflow system himself. Among the automation elements he introduced were electronic long list of candidates available to clients for remote viewing and approval. So actually, in the beginning of his journey, he was IT specialist who was interested in recruiting. So it was the main reason for him to start his own business. So business models built on charging corporate users for access to their resume database and the ability to post vacancies. Headhunter is a member of the international network of job sites, the network, which unites 50 leading portals for finding employees and jobs in 139 countries. So you can see some analysis of the platform. In this picture, it's information from Headhunter, so it's official information. The business model was formed at the very beginning and has not changed fundamentally. It's built on charging corporate users for access to the resume database. Success at the start was due to the concentration of resources within a clearly defined niche. Initially, the service specialized in the selection of top managers and middle managers for high-profit employers. It is in this direction, on the one hand, that Frolkin and his team have accumulated experience and established communications. On the other hand, this segment was distinguished by bold checks. This makes it possible to rely on resume sales from the very beginning, as opposed to competitors, which often fed on advertising. The result was the most simple and convenient tool in which there was nothing superfluous. So, next slide, please. The company's strategy is to invest in new technologies and improve existing, develop new services in the field of personal management. All vacancies and resumes on the hh.ru website are manually checked by moderators. Access to the resume database and posting of vacancies are paid. Job search is free for job seekers. For both employees and job seekers, Headhunter provides a set of tools for effective work.
Next, we want to talk about principles of platform economy. So first is access-based production and consumption, and Headhunter has on-demand or access economy. Which means that people use this platform whenever they want or need, and the product on this platform is rather common. Also, Headhunter has a web-based organization. It means that Headhunter produce web-based service. Headhunter has its own website and app on which it coordinates employers and employees. Also, it has success-based business, which means that this platform do not own resources and assets they provide access to. But we have some confusing case. Then people can go to work in Headhunter using Headhunter. Next, we want to talk about platforms and sharing. Headhunter has commercial sharing economy, which means that Headhunter provides employers with their resources not for free, and B2C model of interaction. So Headhunter is a communicator between companies and employees as consumers. Next slide, please. Now we want to talk about advantages and risks of Headhunter. So advantages are more profit for employees, comfortable for employees, a huge variety of vacancies, and some disadvantages are high costs of posting per vacancy and dependence on a source provider for both sites. Which means that Headhunter is a provider, so employers and employees should use resources of Headhunter to make a deal instead of a personal deal. Next slide, please. Now we want to talk about the type of Headhunter. So we want to begin with model of coordination, and we can define Headhunter coordination model as a market, since it has independent design of product, equal and independent interaction, independent control of output. However, on the other hand, some hierarchical elements are also present. For example, standardization of resume and job posting. Next slide, please. And now we want to talk about levels of centralization of Headhunter. It's low, medium, and high. So functions of platforms, it's low or high level in some cases, because we think that it's more low because Headhunter provides us possibility to post different vacancies, but on the other hand, this posting has a strong frame. Interactions between users are low because they're direct. Level of standardization is medium because we have different products, standardized rules, and standardized rules of service. Trust is also medium because it's created by users and supported by platform. Output control is low because it extended by participants. Types of resources are medium because we have different segments within the same category. And intrinsic model of payments to the platform are low because Headhunter has free access for employees, vacancy posting fee for their employers, and payments for additional services. And finally, we want to talk about platform by ownership, and we can define Headhunter ownership as a private sector.
So now we would like to tell about some more pros and cons. So start with pros. The popularity of the platform is a big pros. Website headhunter.ru is widely known in Russia and the CIC countries, which allows job seekers to find vacancies in both small and large companies. And one more pros is mobile app. In the 21st century, many people use mobile versions of websites, and the full-fledged application further simplifies the interface and makes it clearer. But there are also cons. For example, a formal approach to work. Applicants complain that their resumes are often not viewed, lost in a huge number of other offers, and the search is defined for many months, delayed. False information. The stated salary is sometimes higher than the actual salary. The responsibilities in the questionnaire are very different from the real ones, etc. There is no quality control except for verification, which is received by a small number of firms. And security. All information is public, and not only employers can view resumes. So often the data goes beyond the sites and manifests itself in spam calls.
Well, thank you very much. You used only 10 minutes. It's a great result. So, team number transport and delivery. Please, if you are ready with your three questions, please ask, or if you need any time to prepare it, please let me know, and we're waiting for your debate stage.
I believe we need 1 minute to prepare or something about it.
Yeah, of course, we're waiting.
Okay, we're ready for the first question. Um, so, uh, you have mentioned that Headhunter is a B2C platform, so business to clients. Can it be used in B2B interaction? Um, so, business to business. If so, in what way? That's
Okay.
our first question.
Okay. Have we got some time to think about answer?
Yeah, of course, according to the rules of the game, you have 3 minutes to prepare your answer,
Okay.
and
Okay.
please use it if it's
Thank you.
necessary.
Okay, so we think that Headhunter is always B2C platform because it's interaction, it's producing interaction between the employer and the employee. So in all cases, always on the one side of this interaction will be employee.
However, Headhunter has a big d- database, so it could be used by other firms. What do you think about this?
Yes, but this database consists of employees' vacancies.
And their resumes. So
Yeah, Dirnik, I think that you means that that Headhunter could use the data to provide any ads and to sell it for anyone to target this audience or to use this data on any researches. Yeah, of course, I think that is possible, but generally it's not the main channel to make a profit. And of course, it is something for tests for any experiments, but the main idea of platform is to connect employees and employers, and this way the main idea is to work on B2C market. And I'm absolutely agree with the team Labor Services that this is platform only about B2C market. Okay, thank you. And the second question, please.
All right, thanks for the presentation, first of all. And the next question is, in your speech, you mentioned that there exists a strong frame of platforms functions. So do you think it is the advantage of Headhunter, or is it somewhat a constraint for users?
No, we will take like 1-2 minutes to think.
Okay, sure.
So we think that this is an advantage, that the strong frame is an advantage because since the employer has the opportunity to publish any vacancy except this case when this job is illegal, for example, drug dealing or something like that. But this restriction is not produced by Headhunter, but by the law. But this strong frame is a convenient. Uh, so, uh, for example, employer indicate responsibilities, requirements, in some cases, maybe salary. So we think that this form are useful, and it has, of course, more pluses than minuses.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think I agree with you here. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, that's great. And the third one.
Here I like would like to hear your ideas. How headhunters may avoid problem of people that use resource but do not applying through it and go direct to the company. So effectiveness of the posting on platform become less obvious to their clients companies. That's my question.
Okay, we'll take like 3 minutes to think. If it's not a problem for you, can you write down the question in the chat, because it's like will be more
Yes, 1
convenient.
minute.
Yes, team number one, we're waiting for your answer.
So we don't think that there are anyone who have this purpose to avoid headhunter, but even in this case, we think that there are much more cases of people who using headhunter. So we think that's not so a huge problem for headhunter to solve it.
So actually, in this situation, we see that the main role of headhunter is not charging employees for looking for companies where they can work. So actually, it's not a problem for headhunter, because they in both cases, like when employees use headhunter to apply for a job and just look for information, they don't get any money. So in this case, they headhunter for employees like an open place where they can find work. So headhunter do not lose something.
Yeah, it's a brilliant answer, absolutely, because There are two different systems of monetization for job platforms. LinkedIn, as one of example. Of course, LinkedIn is something between social network and the job platform. But if you are a firm, you have to pay money by each resume that you get, and of course, it means that the most effective strategy for you is to post it and to wait that someone will write you directly or without this application, that someone don't use this way. But headhunter is like an like a platform that provides the opportunity to show that you have this vacancy, this job opportunity, and you as a firm will pay only by this possibility. And it doesn't matter for you how the potential employees will contact, because you have paid before, and each connection into the um, into the platform don't spend your money. But I'm not sure that this situation is right now, because there were any changes into the headhunter policies, but generally the situation is absolutely the same. So thank you very much for your question, and now we're waiting for the second group. Group Goods, please, you're welcome.
Yes, we are ready to ask our questions. The first question is why would people looking for a job be more likely to look for vacancies at HHRU rather than contact the employment center? Actually, employers they are more reliable due to the fact that the platform is state-owned.
Okay, we will answer in a minute. So actually, Headhunter is currently the largest database in Russia in which applicants can find a job. The platform hosts vacancies like from various fields, for example, from like cleaning staff to top managers. So the job centers, which are state-owned, does not offer so much different vacancies, and the procedure is harder. For example, you need to get some documents that you don't have work now, and you have to go to the center like for interviews and so on. But by using Headhunter, the procedure is very like simpler. You don't need to upload a lot of documents. You just like can write your resume and find a job there. And even if Headhunter is not state-owned, employers and vacancies are checked by moderators, and it's like help to ensure the safety of the platform. So I think that in nowadays in 21st century, it's really simpler for people to find job by Headhunter rather than go to job centers.
But in your disadvantages, you had a bullet about quality control, that there is no quality control, and what to do with that. And in this case, mm, maybe it would better to sign on in how to say, employment center, and will be more reliable.
I agree with you about like confidentiality of information and so on, but the situation is getting better nowadays because of the popularity of Headhunter. They try their best um, to ensure their users with safety because Headhunter is very popular, and if there are any scandals, it will Headhunter will have a lot of harm. So I think they try their best to make their site as safety as possible. And I think if we're looking for process and cons, it's like the problem with safety is much like smaller if we're seeing hundreds of like vacancies. So you can go to employee center and see only 10 vacancy in your like not a city, but for example in your district. But if you're looking for a job in Headhunter, you can see hundreds of them. A lot of employers do not use employee centers. They use Headhunter nowadays because of the popularity and them like it's very comfortable for them, for both employees and employers.
Yeah, thank you, Ariana. I think that depends on the level of vacancy, of course, because sometimes it is to use the job center is the better way if you're looking for or a simple job or a part-time job, something else. And Valeria, thank you for the question. I think that each of the next presentation should add a part about the privacy issues, about that how the platform will work with your privacy, with information about yourself, about your salary, about your proven track record of job. And it is the safety issues are very important for each platform because, as we said before, they can use for any other goals, yeah, these dates. And of course, we as users should control this direction of platform development. Okay, thank you very much. And the next one, please.
Thank you for your presentation. The next question is connected with advantages and disadvantages. When talking about them, you've mentioned that one of the pros is more profit for employers, and one of the cons is high cost of posting per vacancy. And the latter sentence excludes the former one. How can you explain higher profit for employers in case of high cost of posting per vacancy?
Okay, we understand. Give us some time. So I think that employers have always had to pay for job posting. So, for example, before Headhunter, for example, they can use newspapers, and this is also had its own price, but however, with Headhunter, they get access to a huge base of employees. So finding an employee has become much more convenient and easy. And also they can opportunities to, for example, change their advertisement and this post or this vacancy, people will not forget it about. mm, uh, because, for example, in case of newspapers, people, I don't know, maybe about in a week they can forget about vacancies, but in case of Headhunter, if a vacancy is relevant, people can respond to it.
Okay, I see. Thank you. And the last question. Um, well, Headhunter allows workers to post their resume only in a specific Headhunter format, which doesn't provide the flexibility for employees, and sometimes it is impossible to provide the information about yourself in a correct way. Why, as you think, Headhunter creates such strict rules which may harm the communication between workers and organizations?
Okay, give us some time.
So actually speaking about strict rules, it seems for us that from the very beginning, Headhunter was a big database, and in order to make this base convenient to use for both employers and employees, it has to have strict rules, because having like a lot of types and opportunities for employers to give information about themselves will make it harder for convenience of the headhunter. It's not a big problem. It seems for me that it's not a big problem for employers to communicate with employees. Like when you see some states, for example, previous workplaces, like age, education level, and so on, you can easily understand is this person can potentially be your employee or he cannot be. And moreover, there are hundreds of like vacancies where it's absolutely obligatory to talk to the person, to have an interview. So you cannot like provide a lot of information which will like 100% make a digital copy of you in order to like to apply only by resume. Like in all ways you will have to have an interview. So strict rules are okay, it seems for us, and it just makes the system work convenient and easy for both of the sides.
Okay, thank you. I agree with you.
Thanks for your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a great question, and I will add just a few points. That thank you for your presentation, but I will add that it is very important to pay a lot of attention about the privacy issues, and all other teams, please note that you have to highlight this issue into the next presentation, how the platform will work with your data and how they provide what the steps does this platform make to avoid any problems with the privacy issues. I will add that I like the third question from the first team because it is about the concrete point of the presentation, and you had asked in the future you will ask in the next presentation about any concrete points of your opponents and try to understand maybe they are wrong, and you will describe this issue from the other hand, because this question are of course more successful anyway. And the last one, I will add to this presentation that there is a very big problem for each companies that works with the HHU, because it is very hard to grow a good relationship with your potential workers if they use this platform to apply your job, because there are a lot of cases when companies are going to work only direct with their workers, potential workers, because it is very important to company understand that this company is not only one in the very big values of applying for this worker, and this is the first stage of growing great relationship, and of course growing great uh, yeah, growing great relationship with your team, with each worker in your team. And Headhunter makes all the resumes according to their standards, and of course it is very dangerous for the company because workers are more flexible, and for a potential worker doesn't matter where to apply, because the application process means that you will spend only 30 seconds. And if you're looking for the experience of, for example, USA market, you will see that there are a lot of cases, as I said, that the companies are going to the direct connection with the potential employees, because it is the way for growing great relationship. So thank you very much for your presentation. I'm going to see you the next week, and with the other presentation. Please note that there are a few very important points that you will show. It is very important for our process. So thank you very much. I'm sorry, I'll have to show your scores, and I think that today, of course, the winner is the presenter team, the team labor and services. Maybe because of this is their first experience in this in platforms, maybe because of not very difficult question. So thank you very much. My congratulations to the winning team, and of course, I'm looking for your next presentation and looking for the next week. See you. If you have any question, please ask me. If you don't have, I'm always in very deep connection with you on email. I will answer you immediately.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.